Okay, so tell us your housing plan here. Let's start. We gonna change it up to housing. Tell me your housing plan then.
We need moderate income housing because we have an entire population of people, including everyone from your recent grads or students that may have gone to trade schools or just ready to move out of their home. Moderate is a relative term, obviously, but moderate is going to be probably anywhere from, I would say, probably our $30,000 to $40,000 range.
You would call that moderate?
That's low, but it's gonna. I'm sure the way city programs and housing is not specific enough that it's going to be a $10,000 window. But we need to have something that can also capture a family that has two working parents as well as children.
Give me an example. Okay, let's say
sometimes it goes up. Sometimes
let's say a family of making 55 is considered what? Because you know we hear low income and all of these different. What is that? Give me a financial number.
I would say
then, wait, I got a better one for you. Okay, if you say 55, what is my rent?
That's what I was gonna say. I think 55 is probably should be considered part of our low income
so
housing.
If that 55
because our
low.
mid has to incorporate probably I'd say families up to 100 to 120.
That's
because
mid?
we have up to
up to 120.
Because if we have children that are graduating from college at this point, when they come out of school, they're making probably to start anywhere from 30 to 50. And we should have a place for our children to come home to after they go off to school.
You know, I got a college student now. I hope he make 30 to 50 when he get out. I'm open for it.
They definitely do, and we need to be able to offer it. And so that's why I said it has to be a range, because that person is at a very different stage in life. They're alone. They're probably childless. And we need to have housing that accommodates that member of our community as much as a family.
Let's clarify this. Now, I got something for you. Let's clarify it. 30 to 50 is low. What's my rent?
Well, that I would have to look at the number again, because it's not supposed to be more than, I think, a quarter of.
Okay, of course now.
It's not supposed to be more than one quarter.
Middle income is up to about 120, you said?
I think it would have to go up to that.
120? Okay, now.
Think of a family whose one person is an administrative assistant and another might work for, say, transit. They've been working for 10 to 15 years. Okay. They each make about 60,000. Okay. We have a reality. That's our reality.
No, without a doubt, without a doubt. That's without a doubt. And that means we should be able to pay.
That means that, again, in looking at when we create affordable housing, we're trying to create housing where no tenant is paying more than a quarter of their rent. A quarter of their income into rent. And so that's why it's a relative term and it slides. But I think we need to have policy that addresses the reality that we have different segments in our community, and we need to have housing that addresses it. We just started getting some senior housing, and when we say what is low, medium, or moderate, it's going to be a different scale for seniors.
Okay.
And so we've got to have something that's progressive and that it acknowledges increasing incomes, but also the reality of increasing costs.
Okay, we're going to get to our seniors in a second here, but what I'm going to hit you with is we're going to talk about our foreclosures. We got foreclosures going on all over the world and all over the U.S., and it's traumatic. Families losing a home, the family killed the whole family, wiped him out. He was devastated after losing his property. It's happening right here. People are losing their homes. Bad mortgages, taking out second and third mortgages. I've heard the word predatory lending in my community for years by my officials. I can't figure out what they did. It's just more of a conversation. Will it be more the same? Will I get that same conversation about predatory lending and there was no legislation to stop it? Foreclosures.
The city may have the ability to put something in place to say, we are going to stop these companies from practicing in the city, from offering mortgages in the city. It would take a strong hand, and I don't know that we have leadership in place right now that would be willing to do that, although it is something that we seriously need to consider, because the same players are offering the same mortgages over and over again, and it disproportionately affects people of color.
When does it become, this is criminal? We have not only the mortgage companies, it's tied in with the appraisers. You appraised this house at, let's just use 400,000 last year, 550,000 this year, 700,000 the next year. They use the same appraiser. How did it happen? Did you appraise this house at another $150,000 in a year? This is criminal. Why? Because the same person did this here. So somewhere along the line, this was a plan.
It is a plan, and it is deliberate. When people make bad loans, or companies target particular individuals and offer them loans that they know that they cannot afford, that is something deliberate. And we also have to put some onus on our consumer, because we have to be educated consumers, and we have to be educated in understanding what we can afford, how much it's going to cost us in the end, and if this is something that we can sustain. Because someone offering you an opportunity to purchase a loan that you can't afford, and by itself is not criminal. And that's, I think, why there's some hesitation. However, the large-scale targeting of a group of people or classes of people or communities of people, I don't know if it's a conspiracy. I have never done.
What do you mean you don't know? I'm talking to an attorney.
And that's exactly why I will tell you I do not know.
Can an attorney help me?
Because we don't, no one has done, or at least I am not aware of, anyone saying, okay, we have the information that proves that this company has.
So if this same, and it's important because these people have to know maybe they were a victim of a crime. Think about it. If you raise the price of this house in 2-3 years, a couple of $100,000 by yourself, and this house don't look any better, there was no real improvements to justify moving this house from, let's say, 350, 700,000. All the appraisals were done by the same company.
Well, it's not the appraisers alone, because appraisers,
along with the mortgage company,
they give it to the mortgage company, to a banker of some sort, who's supposed to read the appraisal and say, this has been given this value because we have comparable sales. Usually it's based on comparable sales.
I saw real estate.
Right. So if they're seeing comparable sales, then it's not unreasonable to believe that the values have gone up.
But if everybody conspired to do the same thing,
but
it's called flipping houses.
If that's what it's difficult to prove.
Okay.
That conspiracy
we gonna move on. I just wanted you to know this was for the people, so the people understand. Maybe you've been duped with this house.
No, that is definitely something for people to think about.
And being that I had an attorney, he was the best person that I need to answer that. But we gonna close out this segment. We'll be right back with a brief message from our sponsors.